What's going on, Raiders? Duelum here, and today we're going to be talking about the best way to start Raid Shadow Legends ever. That's right, we are going to be going over my download link since it has been revamped for the month of December, and it is absolutely amazing and why you should be using it if you have looked to start your first Raid account, or maybe you want a second one, because this is a pretty great time to do it. So when you click that download link in the description or scan the QR code in some of my other videos as well, I'll also put it up there right now. You're going to start off right away. You're going to start off with one of the best legendaries that they've ever given away for free, and that's going to be in the Dwarves faction, and that's going to be my man Tholen. That's right, you start off with Tholen Falbeard, and honestly, I can't think of a better legendary to start off the game with other than Tholen. I recently switched from Sun Wukong to Tholen for a multitude of reasons. I did a whole video on it, and he is absolutely amazing. You can see we have reviews in game here as well. I'm blocking it slightly, but you can see the reviews, 2,872. We have reviews that people leave essentially in the game to show you how good a character is. And you see 5 is the highest rating, 4.8, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, 4.8. Pretty much good everywhere. Over a 4 everywhere is exceptional, honestly. And this guy is just absolutely amazing. His basic A1 attack, his first attack, is always going to hit everybody, so it's an attack all. You also have an extra turn mechanic if you land weaken on everybody, which is absolutely amazing. Very, very, very good damage. His A2, Back to the Abyss, is very amazing in longer form content like Clan Boss, Hydra, Chimera, places where you really, really play every single day. This is an absolutely insane ability because of just the amount of damage it does, and it continues to get better the longer the battles go because you decrease the target's attack, so you're increasing your survivability, and you're also increasing your own champion's attack in Tholen that gets higher and higher and higher, up to 50%, which is absolutely amazing. Then his A3, Rabid Fury, he gives himself increased attack, which is absolutely amazing. You're also attacking twice as well, which is also amazing. And if the first hit is critical, the second hit will deal 10% more damage. It also ignores unkillable and shield buffs as well. And the increased damage is actually based on each crit. So if there's multiple enemies out there, you're actually going to be doing 10% more damage per crit, which is amazing. And then his passive is another extra turn mechanic. So every 5th turn he does his A1, which is the Demon Breaker attack, and it can actually trigger the extra attack from the A1 if it lands that weaken on all the enemies, which is absolutely amazing. Tholen Falbeard, literally the best legendary that you can start with, and you get him for absolutely free, which is amazing. Next up, you hit level 10, right? Level 10, super easy. You'll get there in about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. Then you're going to unlock Tagore, and Tagore is an absolute animal. Amazing. So he is absolutely awesome. Epic support character that does so many good things. You see the reviews here as well. 4.9, 4.7, 4.7, 4.5, 4.7. Again, everything is over a 5, over a 4 for this guy, and that's an epic character, which is absolutely amazing. His A1 here, the Magic Stick, attacks one enemy 2 times, places an increased defense buff for 2 turns on the ally with the lowest current HP, so it helps out if your Tholen is getting low or any other damage dealer, anybody else that might be a little bit low, giving them some increased defense on an A1. Absolutely amazing. A2, Charge Can't, giving increased speed. It attacks all enemies as well. He does some decent damage, surprisingly, but he is going to be a support character. He gives increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, and a 15% heal of this champion's max HP. And again, as a support character, you see he's beefy, right? He's going to have a lot of health. So 15% of his health will be most of the health for your damage dealers like Tholen and a couple others that we're going to talk about, which is absolutely amazing. Very, very good. And increased speed is pretty much the most coveted buff in this game, right? Speed, speed, speed is the name of the game in Raid Shadow Legends. The faster you go, the more turns you take, the more damage you're dealing, the more buffs you're getting, the more debuffs you're putting on the enemy. It's absolutely amazing, and increased speed is the way to do it. And then if it couldn't get any better, the A3, he's got a revive all dead allies. So if everybody is dead, Tagor's the only one alive, he could use this ability, Rise and Fight, and he's going to give everybody life back, and he's going to do it with 30% HP, also placing a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to this champion's max HP. So they're going to have a 20% of Tagor's health shield, which is absolutely amazing. And then his passive Aid the Feeble, decrease the damage received by allies with 50% HP or less by 10%, which is also awesome. So keeping those allies with less life alive and making sure they are not dying. Tagor, absolutely amazing. I love this dude. He's very, very, very good. Now, you're going to hit level 20. That's right. And we're going to go over to Skinwalkers. And next up, you're going to be getting Ruella. And Ruella is a new addition to my promo code. And the reason why I picked Ruella is, first of all, we're going to go over the reviews. Fire Knights. That's why I picked Ruella right there. And we're going to talk about why she's amazing in Fire Knight and why Fire Knight is so important as well. But you see Faction Wars, Demon Lord, Spider Den, Chimera, Sand Devil, Dragon, Arena. Again, almost everything over a 4 except for Arena Defense. Magic Keep, which is a pretty easy content that you'll get through pretty quickly. And Hydra, which is fine because Ruella, what she does well, she does very, very well. And when we're talking about Fire Knight is going to be one of the hardest dungeon in the game, right? Period, plain and simple. It is the hardest dungeon in the game. It's the only dungeon I have not been able to do the hardest content on yet. I'm still 3 stages away. So you could really see how hard that content is. But Ruella is going to help you out so much in Fire Knight because she has multi-hitters, and that's going to be a big part of the mechanics of Fire Knight. So she's got a triple hitter on the A1. Also, each critical hit has an 80% chance, which is booked up, which you essentially increase the levels of your skills, and you also steal turn meter on the target. So you're stealing turn meter, which is amazing. We talked about increased speed being one of the best buffs in the game. Stealing turn meter is amazing as well because you are decreasing the enemy's turn meter, increasing your own, making sure they're not taking turns, you're taking more turns. The A2, no respite, attacks one enemy, again, 3 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a decreased defense, which is the big version as well. There's 2 versions. We get 60% is the big version. We also have weaken, just like Tholen, which is amazing, and a decreased speed debuff. So if increased speed is the best buff for your team, decreased speed is the best debuff for an enemy. So if you have that paired with Tagor, you're going to have increased speed. They're going to have decreased speed, and that means you're going to be taking way, way more turns, which is absolutely amazing. And then the A3, timed offensive, 6-turn cooldown, but you can get it down to a 3-turn cooldown, which is really cool. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%. That's right, just filling turn meter, absolutely amazing. You're also placing an increased crit rate buff on all allies for 2 turns. So that's going to help you out a lot in the early game before you can make builds where your damage dealers have 100% crit rate, which is absolutely essential for any damage dealer. You want to make sure they have 100% crit rate, and that is going to help you get there a lot faster, which is great, 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 great. Something we didn't talk about as well, we have auras. Auras is if your character is in the lead position, they give all of the allies either accuracy, damage, health, whatever it is. We have Ruella giving accuracy, which is pretty nice, but I would go with using either Tagor's or Tholen's. Tholen is just more damage. It's 30% more damage. And then Tagor gives 25% more health to everybody. But I'd probably go with Tholen's because it's very useful. But Ruella, absolutely amazing. That is why I picked her, because of her usefulness in Fire Knight, because I know that's a big pain point for a lot of new players. Then last up, we're going to be going over into Banner Lords, and we are going to be getting Lady Annabelle at level 30. That's right, Lady Annabelle, awesome. Great character. I have not seen her reviews before. I'm assuming they're not as favorable as the others that we've talked about, but her uses cannot be understated. But you see campaign 4.6, 4.7, 4.3. She's actually got over a 4 absolutely everywhere, which, okay, I agree with that. I thought she was going to get snuffed a little bit. But Lady Annabelle, absolutely amazing. People use her in endgame content to solo bosses because she's just that good, especially the Bommel boss because of her passive, which we'll talk about. But amazing character here. Looks amazing as well. I love the design of her red dress, the red hair. Looks absolutely awesome. So the A1, Covetous Nails, attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit heals this champion by 3% of their max HP. So a little max HP heal. Nice, giving a little bit of survivability. A2, Captivator. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance, which with those books, when you're upgrading your abilities, you can actually get that buffed up to 100% chance. And you see on level 4 and level 5 here, it does go up. So of placing a leech debuff, which means your allies will attack that character who has leech, and they will essentially lifesteal a percentage of the damage that they do, which is amazing. Also has a 75% chance, which can get, buffed up to 100% chance of placing, again, 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns on the targets with less than 50% turn meter. And this attacks all. This is an attack all, which means this can hit everybody on the board, which means you're going to get a decreased speed on everybody there, not just the one target like with Ruella and her A2, which this is absolutely amazing, especially if you're going into something like the spider dungeon where there's a lot of little spiderlings and you can get decreased speed on all of them, which is absolutely amazing. Then we have the A3 Sanguine Exchange, a very unique mechanic here. You're actually going to swap HP with a target ally. If this champion's HP is equal to or higher than the target's after the swap, place a Revive on Death buff on the target ally for 2 turns. If this champion's HP is lower than the target's after the swap, replaces a Revive on Death buff on this champion for 2 turns. So you're going to get that Revive on Death no matter what on whoever ends up having the lower amount of health, which is absolutely amazing. Also places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Are you sensing a pattern here with why I picked these champions? That's right. You're getting increased speed from Tagore. You're getting increased speed from Lady Annabelle. You're getting decreased speed from Lady Annabelle. You're also getting decreased speed from Ruella. The best buff, the best debuff in the game right there. Absolutely amazing. That's why I'm picking these characters, because that is so pivotal for you guys. Speed is everything in this game. Then the passive, the Red Lady, this is what makes her absolutely amazing. Heals this champion by 50% of their max HP whenever an ally or enemy dies. And this just means her survivability is absolutely insane. And why she can solo content like a boss called Bommel, because Bommel will literally drop bombs next to him, and those count as enemies. So when those bombs detonate, it's an enemy dying, and then she heals by 50% of her life. So she can literally just sit there and solo the boss down and just whittle him down. It's absolutely amazing. Lady Annabelle at level 30, absolutely nuts. Now, we've talked about the 4 characters that you're going to be getting from my download link, right? The best thing and the biggest thing you need to do within the first 24 hours of starting your account, this is very important, within the first 24 hours of starting your account, you need to click on these 3 lines right here if you're on the Play and Play app on PC, and go to promo codes. If you are not and you're on iOS, I have a link in my description that gives you what you need for iOS. So make sure you do that. This is extremely important. What you're going to do is you're going to type in Monkey King. And when you hit confirm here, I obviously cannot do it. When you hit confirm there, you're going to be getting Sun Wukong for free. And that is absolutely essential. This guy is nuts. Amazing. You see he has 6,000 reviews because he's actually been one of the free promo code characters for quite a while now, and everybody has been recommending him for a very long time. You see his ratings here are pretty amazing, except for Demon Lord, Fire Knight. Spider's Den, he's actually pretty good. I kind of disagree with this because he's got a lot of AoE and stuff like that. He does have a little bit lower ratings in some areas, but where he does shine, he is absolutely insane, and it's going going to be Arena. And that is a very, very big thing because of his aura, which is something we'll talk about first here. So the aura, just like we had with Tholen Foulbeard, Tagore, Ruella, his aura is specifically speed. Increase ally speed in arena battles by 28%. So right off the bat, if you put Sun Wukong in the aura position, you're going to be getting 28% speed. Absolutely amazing. Something you need in arena because arena is such a pivotal part of this game and very, very important for your progression. So the A1 here, Gotcha, attacks one enemy, has a 25% chance of placing a stun. That does get booked up to a 50%. So stun, absolutely amazing. They can't take a turn essentially. The chance increases to 50% if the target has any buffs. So if they have any buffs on the target that you're attacking, it's technically a 50%, and then you can get it leveled up to a 75% chance. The A2 Staff of Wonder attacks one enemy, will ignore 50% of the target's defense, and that is amazing. Ignoring defense is absolutely insane. Will attack all remaining enemies with any surplus damage if the main target is killed, so any extra damage will end up hitting the rest of the enemies, which is amazing. This attack will also ignore 50% of the target's defense. Can't be critical, though, which is the only kind of downside of it. Now, if the initial target survives, you place a sheep debuff on them for 1 turn. This debuff cannot be blocked, so essentially they turn into a sheep, and then they end up headbutting you, essentially. And it doesn't really do that much damage. The A3, Now You See Us, attacks all enemies before attacking, steals buffs from all enemies, and then places a block buffs debuff on them for 2 turns. Block buffs is absolutely insane. Also, stealing buffs is insane. This is really good in things like Hydra, where you're going to be stealing a lot of enemy buffs. Amazing. And then his passive is just absolutely perfect for him because you could build him like a glass cannon because he's an attack-based character. Revives this champion with 100% HP and 100% turn meter 3 turns after they were killed. So essentially, if you have someone like Tagore, who's going to be alive for a long time because they're very tanky, as long as 3 people take turns, whether it's enemies or allies, Sun Wukong is going to revive himself, which is absolutely insane. Makes him very, very annoying and very, very strong. Absolutely amazing. I love this guy, and now you don't even have to pick between Sun Wukong and Tholen. You can get both, which is absolutely amazing. And the way you're going to claim all of these goodies, again, you got to click in that download link, start a Raid Shadow Legends account with a new email that you've never used before for a Raid Shadow Legends account. And then once you do that, you start your account. Once you go through the tutorial, you need to click on this top right little chest up here, and the initial character Tholen will be in there. Then at level 10, you'll get Tagore. Again, level 20, Ruella, level 30, Lady Annabelle. But the second you start, the second you're able to put in a promo code, make sure you're doing Monkey King, and he will pop up in here, and you will get a free Sun Wukong. That's amazing. And you want to know the best part? There's still more. That's right. We've got the Xenomorph Chase. So right now, starting, literally it started 10 days ago, you can get Xenomorph, which is the alien from Alien vs. Predator, absolutely for free. And the best thing is, he is insanely, insanely good. And the best thing is you're going to be getting a 5 red on him for 100% free. And what a 5 red is essentially it gives you more stats. And Xenomorph is absolutely insane, 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 especially if you have those reds on him. He is so, so strong. You see there's 2,670 reviews already. He's got pretty much over a 4 absolutely everywhere. He is very, very strong. He also looks badass, which is amazing. I love his design. He's got poisons. He's got perfect veil, which is essentially like you're putting your character under stealth and he takes less damage from other sources. He's got stuns. He's got a new debuff called Infest. He's got fears, or True Fear, which is absolutely amazing. True Fear essentially means the character pretty much can't take a turn, but they can still use their abilities, and it'll put it on cooldown if they try to use their abilities and fail, which is really, really funny. His Rip and Claw ability attacks one enemy 2 times, deals 15% more damage for each poison debuff on the target. And he's also going to be having a bunch of poisons out there because of his A1, which is absolutely amazing. He is so, so strong. His passive is Caustic Blood. Whenever this champion is attacked, has a 25% chance to place a poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted or blocked if the attack is critical, which is awesome. So doesn't need accuracy, which is great. If an enemy under a poison debuff placed by this champion, decreases their defense by 20%. So that's increasing your damage by 20% essentially, which is absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing. Really, really, really good. This guy is nuts, and he also looks amazing, which all helps out as well, right? You got to have your characters looking awesome. So that is going to be the best way to start Raid Shadow Legends. Today is the day. This is your sign. Make sure you're starting Raid Shadow Legends. It's also almost Christmas as well, and they usually give away a lot of free goodies for Christmas, which is absolutely amazing. So make sure you are getting on Raid Shadow Legends. I'm having an absolute blast with this game. I literally pick up this game the second I wake up because this is my favorite game to play right now. Like, not even joking. I love this game. I have so much fun. So make sure you start off a new account, whether it's your second, third, seventh, whatever it is, or your first account, the best way possible with my download link. Get started today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, Raiders.